Well, that worked immediately. That's exactly what I want. So that should start up fine, hopefully, as long as testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Excellent. That's good. That's good. Excellent. Right, let's start a new game once it comes up. Oh, come on. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome to City Skylines. Someone mentioned wanting a dystopia. Basically, I ended up wanting to play City Skylines again, which I just want. Well, I want this one. I want this map pack certainly, because I think that one's a little bit too. Yeah, let's have a lovely dystopian city name: West Valley, Frosty Rivers, or Snowy Coast. I can't remember what I'm actually playing under. Let me just base theme winter. Yeah, I don't know what I'm under at the moment. I wanted to try something a little bit new, you see. So let's start a new game of Snowy Coast. Snowy Coast sounds nice. And we've got some natural resources, and we've got some water. Let's give it a go. So City Skylines is a game. It's a city builder, surprisingly. But it does some rather interesting little things, such as it does actually simulate water level, which is kind of interesting. You can create dams, and that will affect how the rivers flow. And putting a dam in a certain place may result in more water going down a different path. Yeah, this is a different map to what I've played before. So, for example, on this map, if I was to go, I don't care about that. If I was to build a dam here, I would probably get all the power from that. But if I was to build a dam sort of there, it might cause the water to sort of flow this way somewhere. But anyway, so it does that. But anyway, let's start off by getting our city started. Now, when it snows, snow is going to build up on the roads, and we're going to need to use snow plows to clear it. That's something else. But we only start off with small roads. And the best way to build your city at the start, anyway, is to use some kind of a grid-based system, which is completely at odds with how we do it in Britain. In Britain, we use we don't use grid-based systems, apart from in certain areas like Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes is essentially a grid-based town, which is very, very strange in Britain because, as I said, mostly we don't use them. We'll use curving roads, which basically means that if you miss your turning and then you think, well, I'll just take the next turning, that next turning could actually take you anywhere. It won't necessarily take you in a straight line back to, say, a main road. It might just curve around the countryside forever and then drop you off in some random town. That's generally how it goes anyway. But anyway, let's speed up time a little. We want to get people in. Oh right, yeah. Now we need to start dealing with water. So the way that water works is that these arrows designate river flow. So we want to put our pumping station as close to the water flow as possible up here, and we want to drop our sewage as far down as we possibly can go. We also want a power station of some description. I'm just using the oil-fired one because the coal plant, because it outputs more energy than the wind turbine. And then we connect them all together like that, and like that. Excellent. So they will now get some water, hopefully. Yeah, So they've now got water. And we're you know, small town, a little hamlet, which is basically just a street. And the way that we expand is quite simply we build more. So let's start with linking up these roads. Let's get a main street going on. And let's. So the biggest problem with any city Skylines city is going to be traffic. You're going to get a lot of it. It's going to build up. It's going to cause problems. So you do everything you can to negate the problem. Which basically means grid-based systems for the moment, and then as we start getting more public transport, which won't be for a little while yet, we basically just replace that over. We've also got to start thinking about industrial sectors, because that's what's going to get us the money. And then education and all the other stuff. It's a city builder. It's kind of what you expect from a good city builder. I mean, there are quite a lot of other good city builders out there. I mean, I didn't think. We'll have to leave that one in. Like the new SimCity wasn't actually that bad. There was some interesting things about it, but it wasn't bad. The maps were quite small, really, for what the game was. Whereas this, well, we get given this plot of land to begin with, and then we can unlock 9 more. I think it's 9. Wait, no, it's more than that. No, yeah, we can unlock 9 more around us. Right, okay, we want. Actually, can I just pull up the wind direction? That's not wind direction. There's all kinds of quite useful things here. That's more to do with wind strength. How do I want to do this? I think I just want to put the industrial sector basically just over here, far away from everything as possible. Actually, can I? No, I can't look at my resource map yet. So let's do that, and let's get it some water. Something like that. I'm going to leave that one for now, but yeah, there'll be a larger sort of road, central road, that sort of links all this stuff together, and I'll probably stick one down here as well. Now I just need to. So these lines are basically used to link up areas that don't have power together. Something like that. Do the trick. The areas that you see are kind of linked up with by power simply by building on them. So as the city gets bigger, then these won't be so necessary. Right, let's speed up time. Essentially what I'm doing here is just zoning them, so so everything is zoned up properly, or as I want it to be. And as the city grows, we should get more money coming in. but we might have to force a bit of growth simply by building more roads. So come on, excellent. So we've reached a population of 440. We get a little bit of cash for that, and we get some additional things to play with, such as schools and clinics and the like. So that's going to raise our education level and allow us to get some landfills up, which I'll get a landfill up here, up in the industrial sector. And we'll get a clinic in down here so that everybody is nice and happy. And I can't afford a school yet, but I can afford more roads. So I'm going to build some roads and encourage some growth. And I think we can remove that one now, which means we can zone these areas here. I'm going to quite like to just add in a commercial sector down here as well. So as people, it's pretty much the standard sort of idea of a city, in that you build houses, people move into the area. Well, those people are then going to want jobs. So you build jobs for them to go to. Now, at the moment, we're just dealing with standard water pipes. We'll go into these ones when we actually unlock them. Yeah, so people are just getting cold water to their house, and as a result, all of the roads are freezing over, and we can't do anything about it because that costs money. Money that we do not have at the moment. In fact, I'm doing quite a bad job at the moment getting money. I think I may have leapt too far and too soon in getting all these roads set up, but we should balance it out soon, I would think. Actually, looks like we're about to balance it. There we go. Now we're making money instead of just using it frivolously on things. Each bit of cash I'm getting, I put back into getting roads up, and then I can also do things like get rid of these lines, rezone it for housing, and then that should be up and running again. Okay. Do I get any unique buildings? That's the question. Reminds me of locomotive halls. You know, there's this photo somewhere of a train that's just sort of slipped through a museum wall. Whenever I see train museum, I'm just sort of reminded of that. I think I'm buffering a lot, and the video does not look good. I don't know how much of it is my end or your end, but we'll probably go for about half hour. My voice is giving out again. But we'll see. My internet's not been particularly great either, so it's probably going to be a short stream tonight. It was not stable at all last night, which is why I couldn't stream. To the point where if I had YouTube on and tried to play on a Minecraft server, it would kick me off the internet as a whole, which was kind of sucky, really. So, no, let's not use the expensive road at the moment. Let's just keep forcing expansion. Keep them getting new jobs. And keep making this a nice place to live. I think they need fire station. Let's make them happy. As they get happier, the residences will eventually upgrade themselves. So I think if we were to add another building like a park or a school, some of these buildings would actually go into the next level. And yeah. Oh, I need education. So yeah, if I dropped a school, some of these buildings would actually start to upgrade themselves, I would expect. So a school, elementary school is 10,000, or I can get the community school for 12,000. Less, yeah, that one's a little bit more expensive. It can do slightly less children, but it's it needs less water. Yeah, less water and less electricity. It's about half as much. Is it half as much? No, but it is less than each. So I might just hold out to get that community school actually, because I mean this is a reasonably small hamlet. I don't really need to. I don't want to be straining my power systems too much. But I do want. There we go, and everybody is now happy. In the area. And that pushes that out a little bit more. How about up here? Well, I probably don't need this anymore. So their houses have sort of moved out. And as I move them back, I can then... Oh, there we go. Get more stuff. New canals. I haven't actually used the canals yet, but... yes, I should mess around with those, especially as there's flood walls. So that's in... here, is it? Ah, that's where it is. Flood walls. That's good to know, because I had a tsunami earlier on my main city, and there were some floody areas as a result of that, and I could not find the canals, but now I have. I found a few useful things in here, and I need to get the snowplow area. So this is like a snow landfill, basically, and it's stored there until it melts away. But anywhere that those snowplows go, it clears the roads of ice, so they'll be easier to drive down, I would assume. So yeah, it's quite nice kind of seeing them sort of move around and clear these roads of the ice. Right, I've apparently run out of power again. Right, this will happen a lot. We're borderline. There we go. I'm still borderline, but I should have enough electricity to run for the moment. Now the next one is at 2400, and that's when I get the transport stuff, and I'm probably going to want to go down transport a little bit more aggressively than I did before, because, well, there's a lot you can do with the stuff that's available to you. Oh yeah, and there are disasters and early warning systems and bunkers that you can build. That's if a disaster hits you, which it did before. As I said, I got tsunami and it flooded some areas. Something over there. Oh, that's a forest fire. I shouldn't be affected by... oh, I might get affected by that actually. Can I do anything about that yet? I doubt it. It'd help if I selected the right one. No, I need a population of 7,000 to get the Firewatch Tower. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that forest fire for a little while. That's alright, it shouldn't reach me for a while, so that's should be fine. Right, let's bring that up there. And around there. Okay, I'll do that. This is going to be a bit of an interesting angle. It would be up to there and then over to there? No. There we go. The easy way of doing it. Let's have a quick look at our power grid. So I can get rid of that one. That's all happy back there. Okay. Do that and then do that. It looks like we need to get some more commercial buildings in. Yeah, we can do that. Should be alright. Yeah, I need to get more commercial buildings in, fill this up and batter this back. This is all because really I want to be playing Surviving Mars, but it's not out yet, so we get this instead. Which, they did an extraordinary job with this, I have to say. It's there's all sorts of little things in the game where you think, you know, why did they do sort of go so far down making sure that this thing worked so flawlessly. But, you know, they did it, and the thing works flawlessly, so can't complain. Speed up time. Let's see if we can get this trimmed back at all yet. Not quite. We want it to be moving down a little bit further down here. Apparently I need more electricity. Great. So I need 6,000. It shouldn't be too long since till I can build another one of them. Yeah, so Surviving Mars comes out on Thursday. I am looking forward to it. So much so that I have to admit I have pre-ordered the game. I don't normally pre-order things. I think the last time I pre-ordered a game was Fallout. And even then I pre-ordered it like a day before. You know, it wasn't a huge pre-order. Pre-orders generally are pretty useless unless you've got the preload option, which I'm hoping they do. Fallout did a preload, so it was worth sort of doing it a little bit early so that you could preload it, so that when the game was out you could actually just play it instead of waiting around for it to be available. Especially considering internet isn't necessarily the most reliable thing these days. Yeah. I'm not doing the best at a grid-based system for my water, I have to say. actually quite a high crime rate up here. I should also do something about that when I've got some money. As you would expect in sort of industrial sectors, for some reason industrial sectors are always linked to high rates of crime. And also, apparently, sewage. And I don't know why that's becoming a problem. Oh, because apparently my sewage plant doesn't have any electricity. How's that happened? Oh, because electricity's just... Wait, what? Everything's gone horribly wrong. I seem to be having some brownouts at my electricity supplier. If I do that... Right. That will keep me going. If I can get the advanced wind turbine, those can be put on water and they do 0 to 20 megawatts of power. So obviously of power, and it's not like of giraffes. Though we can hope. Yeah, they really want a police station now, which I'm going to have to wait to do. I'm not taking a loan out, so... Or, well, yeah. If I can reach that population, it will give me a bit of money as a result of doing that. I'm just going to keep expanding these roads out. Just combination of residential and not. All while looking at this to see if I can trim it down. Which might be a possibility in a moment, actually. Do that. I can then zone round there, and then that should allow me to get... This is going to be a little bit risky, but if I can just do this quickly. And cut that down. Move that over, get that replugged in. Excellent, that's now plugged it back into the power grid and everything is happy again. Apart from that area there, because it's that's not actually zoned properly, but actually let's leave that there. Can have a sort of a larger space. People can have a nice back garden. Doesn't matter. Right. And we can also build a... Oh no, that's a fire station. Wait, no, that's healthcare. Police department, that's the one I wanted, because people are moaning about the crime rates. So let's sort that out. Obviously they do have a bit of a radius around them, but yeah. That's got water, it's got some electricity. Now these areas are going to pollute the ground, I should note, and that's not necessarily so much of an issue unless, of course, you've got water towers up, and it's going to basically pollute the water source and people are going to get sick as a result. Now I'm not actually using water towers, thankfully, so that shouldn't be a problem. But we'll kind of, it's one of those, you just kind of have to monitor the situation a bit and hope for the best. Right. So we're now in the electricity portion of the game. Now, I should note, so as the temperature drops, electricity need is going to go up, because people are going to be putting, yes, honestly, it simulates so much stuff. So as the temperature drops, because people are, turning on their heaters more, and this is something that actually happened in the UK. When we last had our big cold snap in the UK, there were, because nobody was expecting the demand for gas, suddenly all this gas is being pulled out of the system and the country is then running out of gas. And the same thing is simulated here. When it gets cold, as the temperature drops, people are turning on their central heating and using more electricity, and so there's more drain on the power grid, which, yeah, they simulate a ridiculous amount of stuff in this game. And it's not stuff that it's good that they simulate the stuff. Right, so I get all kinds of new policies and new stuff that I can do. Excellent. Most importantly, we can do the water pipe with heating pipes, so we can basically say to the people, look, we know it's getting cold in this country, so we are going to give you heating pipes under the road, and that should theoretically lower energy need, because you're sort of doing it elsewhere as a result. Right, I need to get, I only can afford two of those. That will give me plenty of power for the upcoming growth. And what else can I do? I could build some tramways, actually. A 4-lane road with tram tracks. That would be good. And it would support medium traffic. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Unfortunately, I can't actually afford the tram depot. Which... well, not yet, anyway. What else can I do? Buses? Taxis. Taxis are cheap. And, yeah, let's get some taxis up. Let's get a taxi rank up somewhere. Taxi rank up there, and maybe let's also put one over here somewhere. There. So taxis will sort of congregate in those areas. Right, next up, what can we do? 6-lane road with bus lanes. That might be quite useful. So now, at this point, I'm thinking much more about traffic, and what can I do to negate the traffic. So quite a lot of what I'm going to be doing at this point is management of trafficy things. And of course they're going to want water down here. I'm actually going to start laying these pipes. They're more expensive, but it's one of those. No. A, I don't know who you are. B, I don't need any mods. And C, Anybody that says give me moderator please, I always get a little bit dubious about, so no, you're not getting mod. Sorry. I mean, it's not like I've got any need for mod, put it that way. And sorry for being blunt, but you know, something that you notice whenever you deal with Minecraft servers is, you know, the high rate of people who join simply to say, oh, can I get admin? Well, no. It doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. So, yeah. There's your answer there. Moving on. Let's get that up. Let's get... Why is that space... Why does it claim that that space is already occupied? It's not occupied by... May not like... the conversion? It wants to connect into that piece, not into... Maybe if I made it a bit longer. Oh, wait a minute. I may not be using the right type of road. Hold on. I was using 4-lane, I think, before. No? Was I using 6-lane? Yeah, I was using 6-lane and completely forgot. It's about half of the course. And then just link into that. Like that. And then maybe some more there. Yeah. Oh god, now people are complaining about being sick. And that's going to cost... Oh, I've got a medical clinic. Why are they not going there? Are they full? No, they're not full. I'm sure they'll get there in the end anyway. And that one's low land value. I'll have to do something about that. Okay, let me just deal with you. Oh god. Oh, here we go. Move. Remove. Yeah, here's the thing. I have 2 monitors, so I can see what you're typing. Consider that, you know, my happy... Give me moderator and I ban this guy. Yeah, see, this strange thing, right? You come in here and you say, give me moderator, please. And then this guy comes up and starts doing the spam. And then you say, give me moderator and I ban this guy. I don't know, it just sounds a little bit dubious to me. So what I've done for the moment is I've just deleted his messages. I'm going to be nice, you know. If he doesn't want to cooperate, then I'll ban him. It's cool. Here's the thing, 3 people are watching, I've got 2 monitors, I can deal with it. Ah, joys of streaming, eh? And everyone's cold. Why is everyone cold? I don't have a huge amount of electricity. No, I need to sort out the... what do I need to sort out first? Fire? Fire would probably be a good idea. Yeah. Let's make sure that the industry isn't just a big powder keg. That would probably be a good idea. Especially considering... How's that forest fire doing? No, it's burnt out. That's alright. So now, oh, I think the reason why they're cold is because I put the heat pipe down and they're expecting heat, but they're not getting heat through. Should be alright though, because I can just put their heating on. Okay, well, I'm going to report you. Well, no, I'll just, it's obvious that either you're the same guy or whatever, I don't really care, so what I'm going to do, is, well, first I'm going to remove you, and there we go, and then, I'll put you in timeout. Alright, yeah, not going to learn your lesson, are you? Okay then. Hide user on the channel. Thank you. Okay. Yep, okay, fair enough. You weren't going to learn your lesson, so... Feel free to enjoy the rest of the show. Okay, so... Oh god, a meteor with the size of 1 is about to hit the city. Excellent! Oh, it's going to land there, is it? Awesome. It's a meteor. Well, that did absolutely nothing. Okay. I think had my city been a little bit bigger, yeah, might have been a little bit more open disaster. No casualties. Tree set on fire. 22. Excellent. Meanwhile, we need to enlarge. There's more demand for our industrial. So. Build that road down there, and can I just do a little bit bigger one for here? I can indeed. Fill in these gaps. So I want this to be a large commercial area, and then I'll just bring that down. Because at least then the factory workers can get their sarnies, which is what you'd hope for. I'm the same guy. Okay, excellent. My deductions were about accurate then, so I'll ban you as well, because I'm nice like that. Yeah, it's not a thing that really works too well with people who have dealt with Minecraft servers and how that stuff works. Just because if somebody comes in and says make me moderator, you kind of get a little bit suspicious about them. Just saying. Quite frankly, I just like for you to just enjoy the show. If you're here, then great. Am I going to have to deal with that meteor stuff? Is that just going to cause a forest? It's probably going to cause a forest fire, isn't it? And I can't do anything about it until I grow. Well, we'll have to grow then. That one out. To about, I don't know, there-ish. My traffic is probably going to be absolutely atrocious by the time I finish this. It's usually what happens. Because in England we don't really believe in sort of these grid-based systems, these old-fashioned systems. It's far better to go down a road and not actually know where you're going, how long it's going to take, or if the road has dramatically changed in front of you. It's a sense of adventure, I find. Let's leave that gap in there. It's also increased the value of this property. Not great, is it? Nice park for people to go to. And if I just have a little road down here. Actually, I probably don't need all this now. Yeah, if I have a nice little road down here, then I can get another park in. There we go. That should make everybody a little bit happier and hopefully increase house prices. And this industry is still desperately needed, so I'll just keep building up the industry as much as I'm allowed to. And speed up time. So yeah, I'll be streaming Surviving Mars on Thursday, I think. At some point. As for other stuff, well, I've released a video today that should explain some of the other bits that I've been up to. So if anybody PlayStationers, I've put up I don't even want to call it a mod, it's an XML edit for the tool manufacturer thing, which allows you to make ingots for a small power cost. It's not huge at all power cost, but yeah, it's quite a small power cost. Just because I didn't want them to be completely free. But yeah, that's going to be a companion edit, I guess, for hatches, which I've been doing a load of welding on today. I've had to make a list now. I'm to the point now where I can make a list of all the last things that I need to make, and then I can sort of go from there. So and it's very satisfying when you tick things off your lists. It's good when you get a project to that point where you can make a list, you can go through it and tick everything off. So yeah, I'm to that point now. So it's not actually that far off, I wouldn't think, from being to a state where people can actually see it's just a proof of concept more than an actual thing at the moment. So, but yeah, I hope it will be entertaining for some. Sort of a puzzle map, basically. Challenge map, I guess you could call it. Kind of along the lines of the Minecraft pyramid type of thing, ish. Not really, but ish. So let's get some water to these places. And yeah, it'll be alright for the moment. I would quite like to get a dam up. Actually, I could buy the bit that I want to put the dam on. I'm going to put a dam on up here, I think. That's only 2,000. We'll definitely get that. Get that for 2,000. And get this water pipe up. And the dead are now not rising. Graveyards make people happy. It's quite nice to look out upon a graveyard, it seems. so they don't mind having a graveyard next to them. I mean, you know, zombie apocalypse comes, they may not be quite so happy, but for the moment they're happy having that near them. And electricity is becoming a little bit of a problem. I'm going to put in another coal-fired power station, I think. Well, yeah. Now I'm going to make a few people unhappy because they've now got a the power station next to the graveyard. Excellent. And now we just keep on building more and more and more, and slowly the city just gets bigger and bigger and more complicated. And I just need to make sure that everyone's reasonably happy. Education could definitely do with a boost. Transport, oh wait, at the moment. So people are using the taxis at least. They are using those. Let's put a park down in the industrial sector. Maybe a carousel as well. There you go. The office. Actually, they really like that carousel. I'm going to put another carousel in somewhere. Put it down here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. That'll make people happy, and that's what we want. And they want more industrial now. It's basically I guess it's a sort of a, you're constantly juggling all these pies. Juggling the pies? Spinning the plates? We'll go with juggling the pies. Yeah, you're basically just juggling all these pies and making sure that these are as low as possible. And then when they do all sort of bottom out, you're then trying to work out how you push each one up. And a very good way that I found is quite simply you add more residential, and then people will decide what it is they want to do with their lives. Let's put in a slightly larger road down here. Actually, let's put one in with a bus terminal, bus lanes, so that when we are able to put in a bus terminal, they can just use that. Because I can't afford that one yet, can I? Biofuel. No, I can't afford that. That's what, 40... Oh, it's 30,000. Could afford that. Eventually. Not now, but eventually. But schooling might be a very good idea. Just because people are starting to complain that they need school places for their children. So let's do that, and let's get some more water to these places. Sooner or later I'm actually going to start running into some water issues, and I probably should also make sure the sewage is alright. Is it that one? Yeah. So as you can see, we're pumping water out of here, and then the water's flowing downstream, and that big sort of brown patch is all the sewage that I'm just basically emptying into the water at the moment. Obviously, if you get your pumps the wrong way round, which I think we've all done at some point, if you do get your pumps the wrong way round, everybody gets very, very ill, and you wonder for a moment why everyone's getting very ill, then wander down to your pumps and then think, ah, okay, I'm just going to quickly switch those around, and it does sort of rectify the problem when you switch them over. But yeah, there is always this moment of, ah, right, that's exactly what I've done. I better sort those out then. Let's do that. And they're going to need more water, aren't they? So the circle thing that you see is the range of the water. So you can just sort of, it's kind of almost implied that that all these little branches sort of magically come off the main water pipes. And to go into the houses. Not that far off getting another, I guess you could call it a level up. Not sure what I get with my level up though. What do I get? Which I've almost got. New policies, which I haven't really done much with policies yet. A lot of roads. And... ooh, yeah, I've got it, just got it. So, is it Busy Town I got? Yeah, Busy Town I got. So the level up does things like the marinas, fishing tours, and things like pumping service. Yeah, some useful little things. Geothermal power plant, that might be quite useful. How much does it produce? A steady 80. That's pretty good, actually. That's very, very good. And with that, I could actually start just demolishing some of the wind powers plants, actually. Yes, and yes, and yes. How are we doing? No, that one. Yeah, let's just demolish all of the land-based ones, because the land-based ones are pretty useless. They're fine for starting up a new town, or a new city, but you know, not that useful all in all. Healthcare. I'm just gonna quickly go through this. Not that I can actually afford anything now, but everything's sort of very, very borderline at the moment. Let's increase. Make sure that these guys have got access to some health, not healthcare, what's the other thing? Schools, commercial. Excellent. So let's speed that up. I do find that running in 3 speed it's a lot easier, really. Oh yeah, and you can click on the civilians. There's a dog there. He's waiting, apparently. Waiting to go on the carousel, probably. Right, I want to see about dams. That's a nuclear power plant. Oh, I can't do the dam yet. They're quite fun. The downside of the dam is that it's going to raise the water level. So I would want to put it as far back as possible, because it's going to raise the water level and it could potentially flood parts of the city, unless I build sort of flood control. These pieces, the flood walls. How much would the flood walls cost? Actually, not that much. Yeah, that's actually quite affordable. So yeah, you could put the dam then across there, and it shouldn't impact too much. Now, something that I do want to do is start building a better city, as it were, over... Actually, wait a minute. Wait a moment. If I look at here... Oh, right, okay. I need to build a an industrial town over there. Yeah, sort of an industrial area over there. So let's do that. Obviously, they'll want residential areas and all that sort of pizzazz over there as well, but should be able to do away with that for the most part. I do need to move that over there. Right, so we want an on-ramp. Do they have an on-ramp? I think that might be the highway ramp. Yeah, alright. Okay, I can work with that now. I think is it page up? Yeah, it's page up. So that goes, although, or do I just want to do it as a bridge? Can I just do it as a bridge? I can. Oh yeah, I can just do it as a bridge. Okay. Suspension bridges, aren't they fun? If you ever want a fun sort of, well, not particularly fun video, but a terrifying video, I guess you could call it, have a look for Galloping Gertie on YouTube. There's quite a good video of it. What Galloping Gertie was a suspension bridge, the third, I think it was the third largest in America. So quite a, you know, after like the Golden Gate Bridge. And basically what happened was it wasn't built particularly well. It being quite long, and the amount of flexibility that was left in the bridge, it caused some problems until it finally failed one day. And let me just find the right one. So it's the ore industry. There we go. Yeah, basically it all failed, and nobody, I don't think anybody was injured. Meteor, what kind of meteor? A big one, evidently. It's going to miss everything, but they are getting bigger. But they're also missing everything at the moment. So that's good. Getting more meteors. I do wonder, no, 'cause usually they've got Twitch integration. I don't think they've got YouTube integration. But yeah, if you ever want a terrifying video, that's definitely one to go and watch. Just the amount of flex in those in that bridge was terrifying. And yeah, it's like if the bridge was made out of elastic bands. It really was to that level of awful. And yeah, I don't think anybody was actually injured when it finally went, because it was just of this almost slow catastrophe rather than anything sort of sudden. But yeah, a rather interesting video if you wanna, if you got some time on your hands and you don't really know what to do with it. Do that, and I'll build a, oh, I didn't actually mean to zone it like that, but I'll zone it like that instead. So that's all industry, that will all go. We need water down here, because otherwise they're going to be complaining at me. Like they already are. And I need some electricity. And they're complaining about water availability, but I can't do anything about that at the moment because I'm out of money again. It seems to be a reasonably constant thing. I did actually say this was going to be a short stream tonight, and it hasn't ended up that way. Mainly because my voice hasn't given out yet. Oh, it took out the... Right, okay. That's why they were complaining about sewage and water. Right, good to know. Those meteors, when they come down, they can actually break pipes. I did not know that. I haven't played Skylines in quite a while, actually. I recently got back into it because Surviving Mars is coming out, and I'm kind of hyped for it. And I saw that they had some DLC, so I got some DLC for cheaper than it normally would be. And yeah, it's a bit of flooding actually. Oh lord, there's a bit of flooding in there. I've basically got a small lake here. Right, I can deal with this quite simply by hooking a pump into the problem and then making sure that it's got electricity. That should fix the or at least it might sort of drain it out. You can do other things as well. There is a building in the disaster response that allows you to deploy vehicles to assist with sort of like pumping out basements and the like. I think that's a thing that Americans have, lots of basements. Right, my pump is probably now kind of useless. It's kind of sitting there and not doing anything, so let's just move it down a bit more. Just pump this out. I think this is quite neat actually, the way that you can pump out lakes or flooded areas, wherever areas have sort of flooded up, and then and you can also create them as well, you know, by putting your water outtakes into dipped areas of the terrain. I think that's quite neat. Certainly very different idea of doing things. Why has this one not got any water? It should do. Right, okay, so let's relocate that one up here. Get that plugged in. Evidently I need more water. I'll get rid of these. Which also may mean that my sewage treatment is going to start suffering shortly as well. So let's just make sure that we're good there. Why is that? Oh. Oh, it's also cut the power line as well. Yep, of course. Of course it would. Right, there we go. That's all fixed now, so we've got sewage pumping out there. Plenty of power, I hope. So I've got that geothermal and I've got that stuff running as well. I mean, for 65,000, for basically free 80 watts or 80 megawatts of power, that's actually not too bad. I mean, no pollution, but there is some noise pollution. That's not too bad compared to, yeah, something like the oil power plant, which is actually going to be, it's cheaper, but it does more pollution, heavy pollution. But yeah, everything does sort of 50 noise pollution, except the wind turbines, which do even more, which is probably why people hate them so much. Oh, I need to get a landfill up. Right, you can get a landfill in here. I should also build a cemetery, because people are going to die and it's going to take a while to get them clear, so let's just get them down here. And healthcare would be an idea in this area as well, because obviously there's going to be a lot of pollution, people are going to get sick, I would assume. Right, let's continue with zoning everything. Oh yeah, that's that. Let's build that like that. Need quite a lot of residential at the moment. Not complaining. They pay their taxes after all. Into my pocket, and I can get a nice carousel up, so people will be happy. Let's add a small park over this way as well. What doesn't he like? Oh, not enough workers. Yeah, because... Oh, there's upgrades going on. Right, I'm going to end the stream here. I think went on longer than I expected to, mainly because my internet didn't give out. It's been a nice, eventful stream. A couple of meteor hits. And, I don't know, we might revisit this on Wednesday. This might be my stream 1. So I will save it as the stream game. If I can actually spell tonight. There we go, stream game. There you go. So yeah, we'll revisit this I think on Wednesday, and then I'll be back on Thursday for some Surviving Mars with any luck. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.